Welcome, everyone. So glad you're here. Okay, let's dive into this explainer based on some truly fascinating research by Dr. Yusuf Och over at Bayes Business School. Today, we're tackling something that honestly touches the daily lives of pretty much every single professional out there right now. How exactly do you build a meaningful, sustainable personal brand in the age of AI?
I want to start by asking you this directly. Yeah, you. If AI can generate a polished blog post, a stunning image, literally thousands of lines of code, or even a full-blown business strategy in a matter of seconds, why do you still matter? It's a massive and, frankly, kind of uncomfortable paradox, right? But stick with me here, because today we are going to resolve this exact paradox and figure out exactly where your unique value actually lies. To really wrap our heads around this paradox, we've got to look at the landscape we're speeding toward by 2026. Generic AI-generated content, it's becoming infinite. I mean, it's absolutely everywhere. Text, visuals, code, none of this is scarce anymore. So what is the only truly scarce, incredibly valuable resource left? Well, it's you. It's the original human voice. In fact, going forward, your original voice, your lived experiences, and your unique perspective, that's going to become the most valuable source material that these AI models rely on to even function. Now, I know this is a tough pill to swallow, but we really have to completely toss out our old personal branding metrics. You know, the old strategy, it was all about visibility, right? Posting all the time, looking perfect, chasing those basic vanity metrics. But the new reality is vastly different. Because AI agents are now stepping in to help guide human preferences and sort through all that noise, you can't just be visible anymore. You've got to be trusted. We're moving from mere performance to deep trust. From surface-level visibility to genuine authority, and from robotic perfection to raw, unfiltered authenticity. Because human authenticity, that is the one thing AI simply cannot copy.
So the crucial point is, we really need to completely reframe how we're looking at this technology. Dr. Oates hits the nail on the head here. AI is not a miracle, it's a multiplier. If we just sit around treating AI like this magic machine that instantly makes everyone equally brilliant, we're totally missing the point. We have to shift our mindset. It's not a replacement for your intellect. It is an amplifier of your own thinking.
Let me show you exactly what I mean here. Just take a look at this prompt. Write me a blog post about AI and personal branding. Look, we've all seen, or let's be honest, probably used, a prompt exactly like this. But why do we do it? Well, human cognitive overload often makes us kind of lazy. Behavioral economics teaches us this concept of bounded rationality. We have limited time, limited attention, and limited cognitive energy. So when we're overwhelmed, we look for shortcuts. We feed the AI a weak, shallow prompt, and the AI obediently multiplies that shallowness, spitting back a totally generic output.
Now let's juxtapose that last prompt with this one. I want to write a blog arguing curiosity is the key AI metaskill. Connect this to bounded rationality, challenge my assumptions. I mean, look at the depth here. This reveals a totally different mind at work. This prompt isn't just a technical task you're offloading to a machine. It's your actual thinking made visible. It showcases your taste, your prior knowledge, your intellectual direction. The AI didn't magically make this person smarter. This person brought a much sharper perspective to the table, and the AI just amplified it. So how do you develop the capacity to think like that second prompt? Well, to build a sustainable, personal brand in this crazy digital age, you're going to need two distinct engines.
First up, Engine 1, agency. This is all about internal motivation and following your own compass. We're defining agency very clearly here, grounding it right in self-determination theory. Basically, agency is your internal motivation. It's your capacity to act according to your own compass. You know, choosing your own path without waiting around for external rewards or for someone to pressure you into moving. I want you to reflect for a second. In your own professional life, are you actively setting your own targets, or are you kind of just sitting back, waiting to be told what to learn next?
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the hard data from the GIST Do-It study backing it all up. This was an academic study that tracked the wearable tech habits of about 600 users. And what the researchers found was pretty wild. Even if a tool has incredible gamification features, stuff like tracking, sharing, super clear instructions, if the user lacks autonomous internal motivation, the habit just dies. You're eventually going to abandon the tool. The tech alone is literally never enough to keep you going if that fire isn't burning inside you first.
All right, let's move to Engine 2, tech savviness, which really just comes down to your willingness to try new tools. Now let's clear up a major misconception right off the bat. When I say tech savviness, I absolutely do not mean engineering skills. I don't mean you need to go learn how to code or understand the complex mathematical weights of machine learning models. No way.
Tech savviness simply means having the openness to explore. It just means you're willing to click around, test out new tools, and learn by trying, without paralyzing yourself by waiting for absolute certainty.
Take a look at this recent study that came out in the Journal of Marketing Education. They surveyed 353 students all about generative AI. And the data was super clear. Tech-savvy individuals, they don't sit around waiting for perfect instructions or some flawless step-by-step curriculum. They just dive right in. They figure out the possibilities and the limits of AI because they're actually getting their hands dirty and just using the stuff.
But here's the thing. There's this perceived risk that stops so many professionals dead in their tracks. A lot of folks tell themselves, oh, AI is changing way too fast right now. I'll just wait until the dust settles and everything is a bit more certain. Let me tell you, that is a massive trap. If you wait for these tools to stop changing before you even bother to learn them, you aren't playing it safe. You are actively falling behind.
And this brilliantly illustrates the reward for just taking action. The snowball effect. This is the compounding advantage of early experimentation. Imagine you decide to test out just one new AI tool every single week. You play around with it, you figure out what it's good for, you see exactly where it breaks. Every single week, your intuition grows, your workflows get a little faster, and your knowledge compounds. It starts rolling faster and faster, exactly like a snowball picking up momentum as it barrels down a hill.
Now just project that forward for 1 year. The gap that forms over those 12 months between the person who experiments weekly and the person who decides to just wait and see is absolutely massive. In personal branding, authority layers over time. The cost of delay isn't just missing out on a cool new tool, it's a massive deficit in your professional authority. So, we've got agency pointing the way and tech savviness providing the momentum. But how do we actually link them together?
Enter the meta skill, curiosity. This is the crucial force that connects your agency to your tech savviness.
I want to introduce you to the real elixir of our journey today. And it's actually incredible to note how both humans and artificial intelligence systems actually share this exact trait at a structural level. For us humans, curiosity is the proven root of lifelong learning. And for machines, well, AI researchers actually use curiosity-driven learning to encourage systems to explore novelty. So in both cases, man and machine, drastic improvement only happens the moment you shift from passive reception to active, curious exploration.
But to be super clear here, we're not talking about mindless curiosity, like endlessly scrolling through social media. Researcher Kostas Andriopoulos talks about purposeful curiosity. This is the kind of curiosity that actively overcomes our bounded rationality by asking deep, structural questions. Questions like, what is really going on here? Why does this matter right now? What perspective am I completely missing? Or, what amazing thing happens if I combine these two totally unrelated fields? Okay, let's take this and build it into a practical, actionable framework you can start using today.
Let's move to the curiosity loop and see how this builds practical habits for the AI age.
Take a look at this. This is the brand habit infinity loop. The core idea here is that curiosity isn't just some one-off event. It's a continuous loop that transforms your passive consumption of information into an active, non-stop engine of production. This right here is how real personal brand growth actually happens in an age of total abundance.
So here's what that loop looks like as a super simple weekly routine. Step 1, try one new tool. Step 2, learn from it, really poke at it and find out where it breaks. Step 3, write down your reflections, but do it in your own unique, recognizable voice. Step 4, share that lesson with your network. And finally, Step 5, teach it to someone else, which naturally just sparks even deeper curiosity. The absolute key here is that you are keeping the human in the loop. You never just hand over the thinking to the machine, you stay deeply, intellectually involved the whole way through.
Let's summarize the core thesis of everything we've covered today with 3 key takeaways. First, agency is your engine. That internal drive is what gets you out of bed and moving. Second, tech savviness is your multiplier. Your willingness to jump in and experiment accelerates literally everything you do. And third, curiosity is the spark that keeps both of those elements alive and kicking. The winning personal brands of the AI age, they aren't going to be the loudest or the most automated. They are absolutely going to be the most curious.
So, I want to leave you with one final, provocative challenge to take away from this explainer today. What new AI tool are you going to open in a new tab and try right now? Seriously, don't wait for certainty. Tap into your agency, fire up that tech savviness, and let your curiosity lead the way. Go try something new right now.